Hi guys, good evening and welcome to the Little Nook. So tonight I just wanted to talk about Beltane really and the Fourfold Grove. So that's birch, oak, blackthorn and yew, all part of the Ogham. So uh, basically it's just going to be about how we can navigate the Fourfold Grove at Beltane, and we're going to look at each pillar and see what it asks at this time of year, where to place our focus, the questions worth holding, and a few simple little practices you might want to do. Might just help you just to set your Beltane intentions in a very grounded and meaningful way. Nothing complicated, nothing performative or anything like that, just a steady little walk, one pillar at a time. So yeah, Beltane, my favourite time of year, apart from all the other favourite times of year I've got. But Beltane's certainly up there. It's the threshold, isn't it? So it's one of those times like Samhain where the inner and the outer world is really close, close enough you can touch it. And that time of year when things you've been holding on to are starting to really move, yeah, and ask for expression and form. So through the fourfold grove of birch, oak, blackthorn, and yew, we've got a way of navigating that threshold with a bit of clarity and a bit of intention. And that's what we're going to look at. Each pillar offers a different kind of focus. So each one anchors us in a different part of the body, the land, and the ritual space. And then each one will give us a simple, practical way to set our Beltane intentions in a way that feels honest and sustainable. So let's walk on. The first pillar, of course, is birch, the pillar of emergence. And so, birch being the first spark, the moment when something inside you starts to say, I want, before you've had a chance to rationalise it or shut it down or make it sensible. And Beltane, birch invites us just to pause and hear the whisper, not to act on it, just to acknowledge that something has stirred. And so, understanding birch, where are we going to place our attention? First of all, in the chest, the place where impulses rise. When you're breathing in and out, when you have those hits of emotion, you think, oh, yeah. And then in the land, it's sort of willow places, damp edges, riverbanks, early morning light. Get up and see the sunrise. It's getting a bit early, I know, but it's worth it if it's a cracker. In your ritual space, if you're setting up a ritual space, you're going to be looking here at the eastern edge of the circle, the place of the dawn, where the day begins. So once you've set your focus, then start asking things like, what's stirring in me? Or what wants to grow if I stop getting in its way? That's quite an important one. Or what desire is small but persistent, keeps nagging, nagging, nagging. And from those questions, then we can move naturally into practice, can't we? So get a notebook, set a little timer, doesn't have to be too long, 3 to 5 minutes, and then just write one sentence that begins with I want, and just let yourself write, and don't edit it or try and change it as you're writing. Just write down exactly what comes first into your head, let it be raw and own it, it's yours. Yeah, or maybe as you've got up to see that sunrise, as I know you're going to now, and you've got a nice warm cup of tea here, just feel that warmth in your chest, and as you feel it, just name one thing that you're willing to admit to yourself. And birch is the courage to notice that first spark. And once we've noticed the spark, we can move forward to the next pillar that's going to help us protect it, and that's oak, the pillar of sovereignty. Now, sovereignty is something I bark on about all the time. It's really important to me, but it is. It really is. Standing in your own space. It's very, very important. So, if birch is the whispers of what might be, oak is the spine. It's the boundary. The moment you've chosen what you will and will not carry into that fire. So at Beltane, Oak's going to be the place where desire meets decision, where you're going to say, this is mine and this is not. Where you're going to honour your own capacity and your own limits. Sovereignty. So, where are we going to place our focus? You're going to begin again with the body and the land. So in your body, it's going to be your spine. It's got to be. Keeps you upright. Uprightness, clarity, self-honouring. In the land, we'll be looking at hawthorns and other blossoms with thorns. Those gateways, the hedgerows. And in ritual space, you're looking at the southern point, where the fire meets the will. And then from that grounded stance, you can ask, what am I choosing? What protects my joy? And what boundaries make my desire possible? And then moving that into practice, Oak is lived through action. Remember, that's really important. So draw a line on the ground, a stick with a stick of broom, even your finger. Speak aloud that one thing you refuse to carry forward, and then step across the line. It's as simple as that, a little action. Doesn't have to be grandiose. Or just place your hand on your spine and ask, what decision aligns me with myself? Good question. Oak is the yes that stands upright. And once we've chosen, then we can move on to the pillar that asks us to be honest about what stands in the way. And that is Blackthorn, the pillar of necessary truth. Oak's given us the boundary, Blackthorn gives us the clarity. It's the firebreak, the place where the path narrows, the truth becomes unavoidable. It's not harsh and it's not punishing, it's simply necessary, guys. The truth that clears away so movement can happen. So at Beltane, Blackthorn stands at the western edge of the grove, holding that moment of confrontation, the moment where you're going to face the thing that's been circling, where you realise what it is you need to release that can't come with you, and then the moment where you speak the truth that actually frees you. So where to place our focus with Blackthorn? If we're going to meet Blackthorn, we need to anchor ourselves in the gut, where the fear and the resolve meet. If we're on the land, we're looking at Blackthorn's kin, and we're looking at broom and gorse, bright yellow fire. And in our ritual space, we're going to go to the western point, the place of the leap. So if we're working with Blackthorn, maybe start asking these questions from that grounded place. What truth must be spoken? What fear is real and what fear is habit? That's an important one. And what must be burned, cut away or acknowledged so I can move on? Also a biggie. Blackthorn's practices are direct, but they don't need to be dramatic. Remember, they don't need to fear the Blackthorn. So simple practices if you're working with Blackthorn. Sit with a single candle, light it, and just ask, what truth if spoken would free me? Say it quietly, repeat it, almost like a mantra. And when you're done, just blow the candle out and leave it. Or try getting a piece of paper and writing down 3 fears. Circle 1 that protects you, and then cross out the other 2 because they're only holding you back, and focus on the 1. So yeah, Blackthorn is the necessary truth that clears the path, and once the path is clear, we'll end up at the pillar that helps us root into what comes next, and that's you. The pillar of deep roots, the anchor. After the spark and the choice in the truth, there's you. You is the claiming, it's the rooting, the moment after you've leapt over the fire, when your feet touch the ground again. So at Beltane, you is the joy that takes form, the desire that becomes embodied and lived and rooted in this world, the real world. So when we're going to meet you and work with you, we need to settle into the body and the land once again. So it's in the belly and in the hips. It's rootedness, it's vitality and pleasure. In the land, more gorse, the golden fire, the fierce joy of being alive. Embrace it. And in the ritual space, it's the northern point, where the fire settles back into the earth. So hold on to those and then start thinking about these things and ask yourself, what joy am I willing to root into? What desire deserves a home in my life? And what am I ready to claim? So yeah. And then you can move forward with some simple practices. They're slow, embodied and steady. Use a slow grower. The energy's massive, but it's slow. So go for a walk and make it slow and deliberate. And with each step, just say, I choose this. Let the body feel the choice. Let the ground take it in beneath you. Or just place your hands on your belly and ask, where does joy want to live in me? So you is the settling into the life that you want. So when we move through the Fourfold Grove at Beltane, we followed a clear, powerful arc. Birch, the admitting, admit the stirring. Oak, choosing your boundary and standing your ground. Blackthorn, facing the necessary truth and admitting what needs to be cut in order to move forward. And then you is the deep root in the joy that you choose. It's the movement of Beltane, from noticing to choosing to clearing to claiming. And this is the invitation of the season, to cross the fire hedge with intention, to honour what's waking in you, and to step into the life you already live in, but just in clear clarity. Make your Beltane be honest and grounded and fiercely alive. I hope you have a lovely Beltane. Whatever you're doing, enjoy it. Jump over a fire if you can. My love to you all. See you soon.